Assalamu alaikum. We're going to be reacting to a video of Richard Dawkins. Richard Dawkins is someone we've been refuting for years now, Imran. Why do we focus on this old man?
Because he has misled many people over the years, bro.
Yeah.
He speaks a lot of nonsense, but
That's right.
a lot of people unfortunately follow him.
That's it. So we're going to see what happens when he's actually put under the spotlight and he's being pushed about the origin of life.
Well, then who did create the heavens and the earth?
Why do you use the word who? You see, you immediately beg the question by using the word who.
Well, then how did it get created?
Well, by a very slow process.
Well, how did it start?
Nobody knows how it started. We know the kind of event that it must have been. We know the sort of event that must have happened for the origin of life.
And what was that?
It was the origin of the first self-replicating molecule.
Right, and how did that happen?
I told you we don't know.
So you have no idea how it started?
No, nor has anybody.
Nor has anyone else. What do you think is the possibility that intelligent design might turn out to be the answer to some issues in genetics or in evolution?
It could come about in the following way. It could be that at some earlier time, somewhere in the universe, a civilization evolved by probably some kind of Darwinian means to a very, very high level of technology and designed a form of life that they seeded onto perhaps this planet. Now that is a possibility and an intriguing possibility, and I suppose it's possible that you might find evidence for that if you look at the details of biochemistry, molecular biology. You might find a signature of some sort of designer.
Wait a second. Richard Dawkins thought intelligent design might be a legitimate pursuit?
And that designer could well be a higher intelligence from elsewhere in the universe. But that higher intelligence would itself have had to have come about by some explicable or ultimately explicable process. It couldn't have just jumped into existence spontaneously. That's the point.
So Professor Dawkins was not against intelligent design, just certain types of designers, such as God. So the Hebrew God, the God of the Old Testament, he doesn't exist in your view?
Certainly. I mean, that would be a very unpleasant problem.
Look, firstly,
he has an emotional problem that he's been trying to justify through science for decades.
yeah.
It's evident from this video, bro.
Yeah.
He's
So
emotionally hurt.
when he's pushed in a corner, he's like, well, it might have been some other beings which was seeding life on this planet. They also came about by some sort of Darwinian means. So you don't reject the design inference to go from the data. Yeah. In fact, he says if you look at, the details of molecular biology or the complexity or whatever, then you can see a sort of signature of the designer. Yeah. So there is no rejection of the design inference. It's who the designer is.
Yeah, and that highlights that he cannot undo or overlook the evidence that's available and present. He just can't go past that.
Yep.
But he has to now sort of spin it in another way, which is just push on the buck, basically. Okay, another life form from somewhere else in the universe seeded us. But that doesn't
Which
answer
could have
the
been
question.
Darwinian itself.
Yeah,
like
but it
he
doesn't
said.
answer where did they come from?
Where did they come? It's an infinite regress. So the thing is, someone like him, they're a huge public figure. Millions of people follow them. Millions of people have been misled by them, but they go against the evidence. And for this, actually, Sapiens Institute, we are publishing a book. Dawkins deselected the extinction of new atheism. So in this, what I'm basically going to show is, when it comes to the evidence, whether the evidence is from biology, theology, philosophy, or it's from zoology, generally all of the different scientific fields, none of those actually goes against the existence of God. So any of the subfields of biology, they don't go against the existence of God. And his arguments that he makes in the God delusion are at best fallacious and at best a reason for us to study, a live example in front of us of logical fallacies.
Absolutely. He's a brilliant example of that. Do not follow people like this. We've had one is enough. It's just a lot of nonsense, bro. Just trying to package it in an intelligent way so it can,
escape the implications of believing in God.
Confuse you and make you, I don't know, man. It's a lot of nonsense, bro. Why are we doing this video? Is it worth wasting time doing this video?
And you'd be very surprised because he's still popular. He's still turning up on the Joe Rogan show. He's still turning up on Piers Morgan. He's still being invited. He just did a massive tour of America. After this, he's got his latest book, which just came out, The Genetic Book of the Dead. So again, he's being pushed into the limelight and pushed in terms of the media But we all can see this guy is a charlatan, right? He is a fake in terms of not his history or with Oxford University of knowledge of biology, but he's a charlatan when it comes to philosophy. He's a charlatan when it comes to the understanding of theology, and the sort of arguments that he makes. You can see that those are coming from an emotional place, because he himself says
these are scientific arguments.
yeah,
bro.
he
These are
said
emotional-
Darwin allowed us to be an intellectually fulfilled atheist. This is one of the things he says in The Blind Watchmaker. So just to for anybody who's interested, you will be able to get the book in a few days, inshallah. And in this book you're going to see that Dawkins is deselected, domesticated, neutered out simply because the evidence that we have from philosophy, from you love it, don't you? You love it.
That's the second person you've done that to.
That's it.
Who was the first guy? Anyway, forget him.
Yeah,
forget him.
So the fact is, when it comes to the evidences that we have from the science, we have plenty of evidence to show that it doesn't undermine the existence of God. If anything, it can be used for an argument for the existence of God. So do enjoy the book and give us your feedback.